This is a video with bits of advice on how to get ready for a gig and how to pack up when you finish. First of all, I always pack my car and I always pack it in exactly the same way. That way I'll know if I've left anything behind, and also I always carry gear in about the same way. It takes me 3 trips to carry all my drum kit. First thing I do is I lay down my carpet so that I establish my part of the stage and the other members of the band don't start putting their gear where I'm going to need to be set up. Bass drum first. This is a Gresh Renown in matte black with a 24-inch bass drum, 16 and 13-inch tom-toms, and a 10-inch self-made timbali. How's that artwork? You can see little holes in the carpet, and that's where I put the legs to hold it in place. Here I'm checking the tuning a little bit before I put the pedal together. This is a conga case, which I use to carry some of my tom-toms and a few other bits and bobs. So there's my stool. I always put the stool together as soon as possible. That way I can sit down and not bend over and hurt my back as I set up my stands. You can see that I have the bases of the stands in place first before I put on the rest of them, and when I pack up I do the same thing but backwards. Everything gets taken out and set up and then shuffled into place. Out comes the tom-tom. And I always check the tuning on the bottom skin, because once it's set up it's very difficult to reach the bottom skin. It's dead easy to tune the top one. So down she goes. And now I'll shuffle a few more things into place and put some more of the hardware on. Here comes my little wooden timbali. Check the tuning of that. Screw that into place. There's our bass guitarist getting lucky. And out comes the first tom-tom. On the bass drum I have a little rash protector to stop it from rubbing against the finish. As you can see, they're quite close to each other over there. Here's the 14-inch Pearl free floating snare drum. Just check the bass, check everything's alright for the gig. Bass drum microphone, vocal mics, and then I start setting up the rest of the stands. I just roughly place them in position and then I'll do the adjustments later on. 14-inch hi-hat bottom. This is a Paiste Signature Series heavy 14-inch. The rest of my cymbals are Paiste 2002. So there's the 22-inch heavy ride, 16-inch crash, 19-inch crash, and 18-inch China top. Everything's placed roughly into position, and then I've got to sit down and do some micro adjusting so it looks right to me. And out comes the microphones. First the cables. There's like a little overhead mic I use for this size gig, just points at everything on the left side of the kit. Floor tom mic in place, bass drum mic in place. Here I'm tuning my floor tom. I put my wallet in the middle to kill the overtones, and I just check that the lugs opposite each other are roughly the same tune, and then I do a bit of relative tuning across the whole kit, and I'm ready to go. So here's the gig. Few little shots of us playing. Yeah, man. And now the gig's finished. The first thing I always pack away is the microphones, because they're delicate and easy to steal. So I very quickly pull them off, put them on my snare drum, wind up the cables. I shake them into a loose figure 8 like that and dangle them on the cymbals. It's very easy to pack them away and they don't get tangled. Everything goes into this padded Sainsbury's cooler bag, which looks after it. There's the tambourine that goes into a little shoebox. When packing the cymbals away, it's a good idea to start with the ride because it gives support to the rest. And then I always check my smaller cymbals for cracks or problems before I pack them away. I use my eyes but also my hands. If I feel a little bump, I have a look at it. It's better to know that there's a problem at the end of the gig than at the start of the next gig. Nothing wrong there. As you can see, I never clean my cymbals. That's just my personal choice. I can't be asked. I don't think they look that bad anyway. And I think they actually sound better when they're dirty. So the stick bag's gone, then the bass pedal, and tom-tom. Take all the legs off. And when you're putting a case on a soft case on a drum, it's better to place the case on the drum and pull it down rather than trying to shuffle a drum into the case. And I use my chair so that I don't have to bend down and hurt my back. Zip that up nice and tight. Next, to pack the snare drum, I always check the underside to see if any of the wires have snapped and any of the lugs have shaken out, because with the kind of vibrations involved, they do tend to shake out, and if you don't check now, you'll lose them forever. Then the big conga case, and into it goes the 13-inch tom-tom first, a bit of cloth to protect it, and then on top of that goes the little 10-inch timbali, then the drum seat, and then the microphone case. So quite a lot goes into that one bag before I zip it up. It does save me trips to and from the car. Here comes a punter to talk to me about drumming and what he thought of the gig. It's always a good idea to invite them up on the stage and let them chat with you. Just keep an eye on your gear and always have some cards ready, because that could be a future pupil or somebody who's getting married and they want your band for a gig. I tend to break my hardware up quite a lot to put away in the case, especially the cymbal stands. I always take out the top 2/3 of the cymbal stand and then the bass gets folded up. I just find that makes the whole lot a lot shorter and doesn't put so much pressure on the hardware case. Once again, you put a soft bag around the outside of a drum first, and then flip the drum over and zip it up. And that way you won't be struggling with it for ages. And the last step, of course, is just to shake off the dust from your mat, any glass or broken slivers of wood, and then it's back to the car. And once again, you count and carry your own gear, and that way it's always there for the next gig. Thanks for watching.